Mates, I've been forecasting weather for over 2 decades, and what's happening across Australia today is beyond anything I've witnessed before. While Brisbane enjoys a pleasant 31 degrees, just 300 kilometres away, temperatures are hitting a scorching 45 degrees at Birdsville. This isn't just weather, this is Mother Nature showcasing her full range of fury and beauty across our continent simultaneously. From catastrophic flooding in Queensland to life-threatening heat in Western Australia, Thursday, January 15th will be remembered as extraordinary. Right now, 3 massive weather systems are reshaping our landscape in ways that demand your immediate attention. What terrifies me most is that this explosive combination is just the warm-up act for something far more significant approaching Australia Day. Before I explain why your weekend plans might need serious revision, tell me your exact location in the comments. This matters for your safety. In times like these, when nature's power overwhelms human understanding, I find myself grateful for God's protection over our nation. Let's start our journey in Queensland, where Cyclone Koji's remnants continue their relentless assault on flood-ravaged communities. Mount Isa region residents are watching helplessly as torrential downpours turn familiar roads into raging torrents. The vision of land cruisers completely submerged beneath floodwaters demonstrates nature's terrifying power over human engineering. Brisbane and Gold Coast, your sunny 31-degree afternoon, feels almost surreal when compared to the chaos unfolding inland. But don't be fooled by this calm facade. Severe thunderstorms are building strength across northern and inland Queensland. Townsville and Cairns residents face the immediate threat of explosive thunderstorm development with cricket ball-sized hail potential. The Coral Sea tropical low isn't just another weather system. It's a monster brewing with unprecedented intensity from mid-January. Meteorologists are using words like extraordinary and historic to describe what's developing offshore. Sweeping south into New South Wales, that innocent inland trough is about to unleash atmospheric warfare across your state. Sydney, your deceptively pleasant 28 degrees masks the approaching storm front that could paralyse the city within hours. The explosive combination of heat, humidity, and instability creates perfect conditions for weather chaos. Newcastle and Central Coast residents must prepare for convective nightmares, storms spawning within storms with zero warning. Canberra, despite your inland location, you're positioned directly in this atmospheric crossfire with dangerous storms approaching. The nation's capital hasn't seen thunderstorm potential this severe since the devastating hailstorms of years past. Victoria, prepare yourselves for the most schizophrenic weather day imaginable as these atmospheric titans collide overhead. Melbourne's cool 24 degrees actually positions you in the most dangerous zone, where hot meets cold violently. When contrasting air masses clash this dramatically, the atmospheric explosion is inevitable and always destructive. Geelong and Ballarat face incoming storm cells with the energy of freight trains loaded with atmospheric destruction. But here's where this story becomes absolutely staggering in its implications for every Australian. Western Australia is experiencing heat so extreme that infrastructure itself is beginning to buckle and fail. Perth's 36 degrees is merely the beginning. Inland temperatures are rewriting record books in real time. Kalgoorlie and the Goldfields face temperatures approaching the threshold of human survival outdoors. This isn't just uncomfortable heat. This is genuinely life-threatening conditions that require immediate protective action. The heat dome, showing no signs of weakening, threatens to persist for potentially weeks, not mere days. Meanwhile, South Australia sits in this weather battlefield's eye, with Adelaide enjoying deceptively pleasant 25-degree conditions. Mount Gambier's cool 20 degrees feels almost Antarctic compared to the furnace conditions surrounding your state. Tasmania, your island sanctuary, provides temporary refuge with Hobart's pleasant 19 degrees and gentle shower possibilities. But this calm won't last, as the weather revolution spreads its influence across the entire continent. Northern Territory residents face the dual threat of oppressive heat and explosive tropical development. Darwin's seemingly manageable 33 degrees conceals the monsoon time bomb, counting down toward Australia Day detonation. Alice Springs endures furnace-like conditions that push human endurance beyond reasonable limits. Now, here's what makes this situation absolutely unprecedented in recent Australian weather history. Multiple extreme weather events are occurring simultaneously across different regions, stretching emergency services beyond capacity. We're witnessing record heat, catastrophic flooding, and severe storms all happening at once across our continent. This is the nightmare scenario that disaster management experts have warned about for decades. The timing couldn't be worse, with Australia Day weekend approaching, potentially affecting millions of travel plans. Festival organisers, airline operators, and emergency services are conducting crisis meetings as conditions deteriorate. Before I reveal the most concerning aspects of this forecast, share your current conditions in the comments below. Your local observations help build the complete picture of this extraordinary weather event unfolding. The rainfall intensity we're tracking could produce 25 millimeters per hour, enough to overwhelm any drainage system instantly. Hailstones reaching tennis ball size will punch through car windshields and devastate agricultural crops. Wind speeds exceeding 120 kilometers per hour transform everyday objects into deadly projectiles. Lightning strike frequency increases dramatically during atmospheric conditions, this unstable and dangerous. Heat-related medical emergencies spike 400% when temperatures persist above 40 degrees for extended periods. Here's your essential survival strategy for navigating the next 72 hours safely. Eastern Australia residents must have emergency supplies ready before these storms explode overhead. Western Australia faces the critical challenge of staying cool when air conditioning systems reach breaking point. Vehicle safety becomes paramount. Never leave anyone in parked cars during heat this extreme. The long-range forecast reveals patterns that could make this week's weather seem mild by comparison. Monsoon activity is intensifying into what specialists classify as a Category 5 atmospheric river. Multiple tropical systems queue up like atmospheric dominoes, each potentially more destructive than Cyclone Koji. Agricultural communities watch helplessly as livelihoods disappear beneath unprecedented floodwaters. Mining operations worth billions cease operations as Mother Nature reclaims industrial landscapes. Tourism infrastructure faces potential devastation as far north Queensland transforms into a weather war zone. What concerns me most profoundly is our infrastructure's inability to cope with weather this extreme. Power grids struggle under unprecedented air conditioning demand, while generating capacity decreases from heat. Urban drainage systems designed for normal rainfall become death traps when atmospheric bombs explode overhead. Transportation networks face complete paralysis from combined heat, warping, and storm damage. Airport operations already showing strain as runways literally melt while storms threaten flight safety. The economic devastation from this single weather event could reach billions in damages and losses. Insurance companies brace for claims that could reshape the entire industry's approach to extreme weather. Agricultural losses mount by the hour as crops either drown or desiccate under these extreme conditions. Climate scientists describe this pattern using unprecedented terminology: biblical proportions of atmospheric chaos. This represents a complete weather revolution that's literally rewriting meteorological textbooks. Commuter safety becomes critical as afternoon travel coincides with peak storm development. School pickup times align dangerously with the most severe weather periods. Parents need emergency protocols. The fundamental question everyone asks, but few dare answer: when does this atmospheric nightmare end? Western Australia's heat dome shows absolutely zero indication of weakening through next week's forecast. Perth residents face minimum 7 days of potentially lethal temperatures with no overnight relief. Inland areas might breach the 50-degree threshold, heat incompatible with human survival outdoors. The catastrophic nature stems from simultaneous extreme events overwhelming our response capabilities completely. Emergency services face impossible choices about resource allocation across multiple concurrent disasters. Weekend recreational activities face mass cancellation as safety becomes impossible to guarantee. Beach conditions remain dangerous from storm-generated surf, while extreme heat threatens inland areas. Camping and hiking adventures could prove fatal if participants become trapped in severe weather. Weather-related fatality statistics increase dramatically during atmospheric patterns matching current conditions. Heat exhaustion, flash flooding, lightning strikes create perfect storms of human vulnerability. Vehicle accidents multiply when visibility drops instantly and roads transform into rivers. Power outages leave millions defenseless, precisely when air conditioning becomes life-preserving necessity. Yet Australians possess the resilience and community spirit that conquers nature's worst challenges. Our history of surviving cyclones, floods, droughts and fires proves our collective strength. Neighbour helping neighbour, sharing resources, and community vigilance overcome individual vulnerability. Professional meteorologists work tirelessly, though computer models struggle with this complexity. Atmospheric chaos this severe challenges even our most sophisticated forecasting technology. Human experience and local knowledge become invaluable when computers reach their limitations. Queensland flooding develops rapidly. Minutes determine life or death decisions about reaching safety. Western Australia heat symptoms signal medical emergencies requiring immediate professional intervention. Eastern states' severe weather warnings demand treating every alert as potentially life-threatening. Tropical development could spawn the most destructive cyclone season witnessed in generations. Multiple simultaneous systems threaten to overwhelm early warning systems and emergency response. Australia Day weekend risks historical infamy as nature's declaration of war against civilization. Critical decisions about travel, activities, and preparations must be made before conditions worsen. Insurance implications alone could reshape how Australians approach extreme weather preparedness. Agricultural devastation continues mounting as crops succumb to flooding or desiccating heat. Economic ramifications will echo for years, affecting everything from food prices to infrastructure investment. The next 72 hours test every Australian's weather survival knowledge and preparedness. Communication redundancy becomes essential when mobile networks fail under storm intensity. Emergency supplies, water, food, radios, medical kits, transition from convenience to survival necessity. Evacuation route knowledge, emergency contacts, and safe room identification save precious response time. Preparation separates survivors from casualties when atmospheric warfare erupts without warning. Subscribe for immediate updates because weather this dangerous changes faster than traditional forecasting. Share your location and conditions. Community reporting creates comprehensive situational awareness. Spread this critical information because weather knowledge shared saves lives across our continent. Tomorrow's analysis focuses on explosive tropical development threatening Australia Day weekend survival. These 24 hours determine whether this becomes Australia's most destructive weather week in memory. Vigilance, preparation, and community support become your primary weapons against nature's assault. When Mother Nature unleashes total warfare, only prepared communities emerge unbroken. Keep emergency supplies close, family closer, and weather updates constant as Australia faces testing. This concludes your emergency weather analysis. Stay strong, stay prepared, stay Australian.